Listen to this. If you want guarantees in life, then you don't want life. You want rehearsals for a script that's already been written. August 18. This passage, I think, is honest and almost a little confrontational because it names something that so many of us do without ever realizing it. We say we want to live fully. We say we want to pursue our dreams, to take the leap, to show up completely. But then we wait, for certainty, for the assurance, for a guarantee that it is going to work out before we even commit to trying. And what this passage is saying is that in doing that, we are not being wise or responsible. We are actually opting out of life itself, because life by its very nature comes without guarantees. And that is not a flaw in the design. That is the design. The uncertainty, the unpredictability, not knowing how it's going to turn out, that is what makes every experience real. That is what gives every choice actual weight and meaning. That is what makes love brave and makes growth genuinely earned. A guaranteed life is not a life at all. It is a rehearsal, a performance of a script someone else already wrote, with every outcome predetermined and every risk safely removed. And you can always feel the difference between those two ways of living. One feels like you are actually here, present, alive, at stake in your own story. The other just feels like you're just going through motions that were decided long before you even arrived. The most extraordinary lives ever lived were not lived by people who had guarantees. They were lived by people who moved forward regardless. So today, ask yourself honestly, am I living or am I rehearsing? Am I showing up fully to my own story, or am I waiting in the wings for a guarantee that is never coming? Because life itself is unpredictable, and that is not something to fear, but something to be excited about. You get to write your own story in real time, with real stakes and real meaning. That is life. That is you actually living.